Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the kitchen. Today is Thursday, I do know that. Thursday, January 30th, 2025, and it's Pantry Challenge Day 754. So, I went ahead and got my homemade cinnamon raisin bagels and my homemade traditional English muffins. So that's what we're having for today. Yesterday did not go as planned, as y'all can tell. I'm in a completely different outfit from yesterday. Yesterday started off great, and we were getting everything done, and then all of a sudden, while I was getting everything going, and y'all know we had the beef stew prepped, getting that ready for supper, and then doing lunch, laundry, homeschool, just doing the normal life. I was also doing laundry, and I had done a couple loads. All of a sudden, it started acting up. Now, a couple months ago, my washer stopped draining automatically. So, in order for me to do laundry, it washes it fine, but I have to manually drain my washer. And it's a pain in the butt. Like, it seriously is. It's time consuming. It's hard. Like, my shoulder, my right shoulder, has been so inflamed that it's physically hurts to touch it, but it's throbbing and pulsating even if nothing's on it. Like, even if it's bare and there's not even the weight of a shirt on it, I could be laying down. It doesn't matter. And the inside of my shoulder is burning, like this horrible, horrible sensational burn all through my shoulder, and it goes up this whole side of my neck. So I've been dealing with that. I have a very high pain tolerance. Most of y'all know if you've been following, and in case y'all don't, if you're new, when I was 18, I was in a horrendous car accident that even the newspaper and everything said I am very, very blessed to be alive. It should have killed me. Um, it was in PA. I was off work. I drove to my sister's house. I had a baby doctor's appointment that day, and I was so sick. And all of a sudden, I didn't want to be alone, so I called my big sister and I drove to her house. Now, there was snow, but I had a Jimmy Blazer, so it wasn't anything bad. And I'm used to driving in the mountains, dirt roads, like there was no fear. So, anywho, I drove over there and I was with her, and my sister wanted me to run down to the Rudders to get her a pack of cigarettes because she did not have a license, she did not have a car. So I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go, but I was sick, so her one friend went with me. I drove to Rudders. Everything was perfectly fine, and I started feeling severely sick on the way, on the way back. Like, her friend went in to get her cigarettes. I did not. And I was like, I need to sit here for a minute. I'm not going to be able to drive. Like, I really don't feel good. And her friend was like, I'll drive. And, you know, I had known her because I went to school with her. So I thought it would be fine. I thought she had a license. We were only going right up the street. It's not like we were going far. And she lived right across the street from my sister. So I was like, okay, yeah, that'd be great. Well, instead of going the way I normally do, she made a right on a road that I normally don't take just because it's such a steep hill, which I've driven it thousands of times in my life, but not with snow. PA is horrible for cleaning their roads. That's one thing I will give Maryland. Maryland is good with plowing and getting the roads salted and taking care of it. In PA, PennDOT does a horrible job with cleaning and maintaining their roads. I'm sorry, but it's true. Now, my dad, not my padre, but my dad, um, he would come and plow. He plowed. Even after he got off work, he'd come and plow, our houses, everything. So he was great, and the company he worked for was great, and his coworkers. But as far as the rest of them and PennDOT, no, they were horrible with maintaining that. So anyway, she must have picked up speed. Why, I could not tell you. And we wound up hydroplaning. And we went up, like we hydroplaned up, hit the second story of a house, bounced off that, and hit a telephone pole. Well, I passed out. Like, I remember spinning. I thought we were spinning. And I remember screaming, oh. And I was 18. I cursed then. And then that's all I remember. And then I remember waking up to people screaming and freaking out, and to, like looking around, having no idea what's going on. And then I passed back out. And then when I woke up again, I remember a man, I don't know if it was a firefighter or an EMS, but he told me, you're going to be okay. We're going to have to cut you out. Don't move. Don't move. And then next thing I know, I woke up and I was on a stretcher on somebody's deck. It was wound up being the deck of the house that we hit. And then they took me in the ambulance. They had to literally cut me. My Jimmy Blazer was, the whole back of my Jimmy Blazer was smashed to the front like a banana. And I was up under the dash. So it pushed my seat and me up under the dashboard. They had to physically cut me out and get me out of it. So then they took me to Waynesboro Hospital, and I was transported there through ambulance. Well, my injuries were so extensive, like they were bad, that they wound up having to airlift me in a medevac from Waynesboro Hospital to Hershey Hospital. And I was paralyzed. I broke my back, my spine, where my L1 and L2 is. It's completely shattered. I have bone fragments all in me. There's nothing holding my spine together. I had no feeling from the waist down. I had completely broken and shattered my whole right hip. I had contusions everywhere. I had amnesia. I didn't know who I was, what my name was. I didn't know my birth date. I didn't even recognize my parents nor my abuela. And that was extremely hard. Now, the girl who was driving, she was perfectly fine. I don't know how, but I guess being in the driver's seat saved her. The only thing she had was a busted lip. Right here. Right here was busted. That's it. So I spent 9 months in Hershey Hospital. And then 9 months in Hershey Hospital being paralyzed. I literally was in my bed until they took me out, put me in my wheelchair. And then all of a sudden, I got feeling in my toe. And it scared me because it was like this weird sensation going through my right big toe, almost like pins and needles. But I freaked out, like I had a whole blown panic attack. And the doctor came and he was like, this is impossible, this is impossible. They did not do surgery on me because I was 18. He said that doing a major open back surgery would be so severe for somebody of my age at the time, and that once you get a back surgery, it's a reoccurrent thing. And what that means is, once you get a back surgery, you're going to have to keep going into getting back surgeries. And I know for a fact that that surgeon at Hershey was telling me the truth because my mom went through that. My mom had over, because she's deceased now, she had over 10 major back surgeries. She had rods and screws in her back, metal plate with screws all in her neck, and, she had to keep going for them. So I'm very grateful for that surgeon, because most doctors, they just want to cut you open and not think anything of it, but didn't care. Like, this surgeon did. So once I got that feeling, they then transported me by ambulance from Hershey Hospital, and I was there for the whole 9 months. I lived at Hershey in the hospital. But they transported me by ambulance to Chambersburg I cannot pronounce this. Rehab. I hate saying rehab because whenever I hear that, I automatically think of somebody who's got like issues or drugs, this and that. But rehabilitation, rehab, oh Lord have mercy, rehab. I'm just gonna stop. I can't pronounce it. So basically, Chambersburg, PA. I had to get transported from Hershey Hospital, get in an ambulance, and get transported to Chambersburg Rehab. I'm sorry, y'all. And I lived there for almost a year. I had to learn how to put on my socks, and I had this really cool, like, they gave me all kinds of gadgets. It's this thing you put your sock in and then helps you, because I could not bend. I had a little turtle shell that was custom made for me. um my sister called it a turtle shell. She said I looked like Wonder Woman, but it was hard. Like, it was, you could not penetrate that thing. And it had like the loops and everything, so I had a front and back to it. And I had a wheelchair and a walker. I had to learn how to talk, learn how to feed myself, learn how to use the restroom with my toilet seat raiser, learn how to take a shower with my shower bench. Um, Basically, I was a baby. I had to learn everything again. And then they taught me how to walk again. That's what took the longest out of everything at Chambersburg Rehab. The thing that took the longest was mastering how to walk again and getting the strength to walk on my own. And then it's really cool because at the one part of Chambersburg Hospital, they have an entire car in there. An entire car. And you have to learn how to get in and out of a vehicle again. I could not do that. Every time, like once I learned how to walk again, and I was getting strength to where I couldn't walk on my own, but I could at least walk with my walker. Every time I would get near that car, I had severe trauma and PTSD from it. Um, I would hyperventilate, and I would have a full blown panic attack, anxiety attack, to where they had to get me out of the room. I could not be around vehicles. Every time I saw a car, I would get flashbacks, and I still didn't remember things from the accident. And both Hershey Hospital and Chambersburg Hospital told me that I probably will never regain those memories. And in a way, that's a good thing, because that's my body reacting to the trauma that I went through. But I may get little snippets of memories. And I did over the years, because I'm 36 now, so this is a while ago. But over the years, I've gotten memories back. And of course, my amnesia wore off. So I wound up learning, my name, my birth date, my social security number, who my parents were. And that was a whole lot. A whole lot. Oh, I didn't even take a short of this. I'm sorry, y'all. People nowadays have the attention span of a squirrel, so shorts is kind of the best way to go. So, but we have my cinnamon raisin bagels, my traditional English muffins. So I'll show y'all real quick. Anywho, so I went through that, but I still suffer from severe pain. So when I say I have a high pain tolerance, that's why. I can handle pain. Now, when I got released out of the hospital, I had to get shots in my stomach every single day, multiple times a day, of Lovenox, so I wouldn't get any blood clots in my legs, because I couldn't walk. So I can deal with pain. It takes a lot to hurt me. But I still deal with my back. Like, my back will go out and I drop like a sack of potatoes. If it rains, if there's snow, I drop. I will not be in a vehicle if there's puddles. Puddles sends me, even still to this day, all these years later, at being 36 years old, if I see puddles, it sends me, like, I literally get flashbacks. And then I freak out. I've come a long way with that, because if it snowed, I would not leave my house for nothing. If it rained, I would not leave my house for nothing. If there were puddles out, I would not leave my house for nothing. February 21st is when I got in my car accident. So my anniversary, that is coming up. Every year on February 21st, I will not leave my house. That is a day that I pray, and I deal with the memories of that, because that changed my life. I was a baby, And, you know, you think when you're 18, oh, I'm an adult, I'm grown. No, you're still a baby. And I lost 2 years of my life that I'll never get back. But I do want to say Hershey Medical Team and those at Chambersburg Hospital are the most amazing, and they were so amazing. They took good care of me. Now, there's not saying that there's not issues here and there, because nobody is without fault, not even myself. That's the only one that's without fault is Jesus, and none of us are Jesus, so let's just get that through. But I had an amazing, amazing medical team, and I am so grateful for them. I am grateful to all the EMTs and the firefighters that arrived on the scene, that cut me out, that, you know, stayed with me, helped me. Um, the one of the most amazing things that God did is the house that we hit, right behind that was one of my mom's best friend's mother's house. My mom's best friend happened to be visiting her mom that day. She heard a loud boom. She came out. She knew who I was. She knew my name. I did not. So the paramedics had, basically, I was a Jane Doe. But because Miss Tina, which was my mom's best friend at the time, came out and told them, oh, oh, that's Stephanie. That's Dale's daughter. Like, you know what I mean? Um, they knew who I was. They knew, you know, my parents. It's a small town. Everybody knew my mom and dad. Now, Padre and Abuela, they lived in Maryland, so nobody knew them, but my mom, of course, called them. So, if you get confused on the Padre and dad, Padre is my father. My parents split, and my mom wound up getting with my dad, who is technically my stepdad. But I have never called him my stepdad. I have never referred to him as my stepdad. He has been my dad since I've been 1 year old. I do not remember any time that my dad was not there. So for my whole 36 years, my dad has been my dad. Padre was always Papa and Padre, and my dad has always been my dad. So we'll just put that out there so y'all don't get confused. Um, but anyway, yeah, so I still get inflammation really bad when my back goes out, my hip, and sometimes in my shoulders. You know, when you go to an accident, you're gonna feel it. I have severe arthritis. There's a lot that came from that car accident. But needless to say, my shoulder, I didn't mean to go on a rant there, but my shoulder is really, really killing me. I'm right-handed. I used to be left-handed. Um, Funny story, I was completely left-handed, and my mother hated that, because I don't know if it was because she just thought it was weird or because my padre is left-handed. Either way, I would be writing, she'd smack my hand. She would not let me use my left hand, even though I was left-handed. I could not write with my right-handed. She forced me to have to learn how to write with my right hand. So then I became both. Like, I remember being in fourth grade Miss Poole's class in Waynesboro, PA, and I literally could write with both my right and left hand. But now I'm predominantly right-handed. So my shoulder's already been, inflamed. It's been hurting. And when I drain my washer, I have to use my mop bucket. And I fill this up. I literally, for one load of laundry, dump over 15 of these buckets. That is a pain in the wazoo. And when this bucket is completely filled to the top, it's heavy. This is a heavy duty industrial bucket when it has nothing in it. So my shoulder was killing me last night. And like I said, that's how I've been doing it for months. Well, it was draining, and all of a sudden, when it got to, the spin cycle, you would hear little drip, 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 like drips of water. That's not normal. Normally, it's pouring out like Niagara Falls. It wasn't doing that. And I'm thinking, like, that's weird. My washer has never done that. And I have a really nice LG True Balance front loader. Like, it's raised. My Padre got the drawers in it, so I can't bend over a lot or my back will start acting up. And I deal with it and push with it, but it does more damage. And then I really suffer the consequences. But I'm hard-headed and stubborn, so I don't let pain nor my injuries stop me from nothing. I just do it and then deal with the repercussions later. But anyway, so it's up. It would not drain. It took me till past midnight. I was up until 1 something in the morning just trying to get my 1 load of laundry done. And then I'm taking everything apart. Water went everywhere. I mean, completely flooded my laundry room. I'm freaking out, and it was a lot. My laundry room is not that big here at this homestead. I'm used to having a big laundry room, a decent sized big house. So even though we've been here, I'm still adjusting to that. And I don't like not having a big laundry room. Alright, hold on, Butter. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. My animals come to the door and they'll make a noise when they need me or want me. Yes, I train my animals. Cats, dogs, goats, it don't matter. I will train them. So anyway, it was really a doozy yesterday. We did not eat the beef stew. I wound up just grabbing something that I've canned from the pantry and just making something quick, fed everybody, and then everybody was watching TV and winding down as I was trying to deal with everything. And I'm like, you know what, that's okay, because now I don't have to cook supper tonight. It's already cooked. So the only thing that I have to do is I'll make another, another couple loaves of bread, and then once I make a couple more loaves of bread, I'll make another fresh, fully loaded garden salad, and that's what we're eating tonight. So it wound up working out. I wound up temporarily fixing it. I don't know what it is, but I Googled it, I researched it, I watched tons of YouTube, and I need my husband to look to see if it's a, what was it? I think I still got it on my phone. Hold on. Alright, let me just save this. It's either a... Okay. It's either a pressure sensor, so it may need a new pressure sensor, or it's a vacuum pipe thingy, or a pump. So it's 3 things that it could be, and it keeps throwing up the code OE. Now the code OE stands for not draining, but I know that. I just don't know what. My husband has taken that washer apart. He's looked at it a couple months ago, and we can't figure it out. So I'm not going to let that stop me. I still need to do laundry. If it was during the summer, it's different. I could use a washboard, one of the old ones, and wash clothes outside and then just hang them up to dry. But we're in the dead of winter, and not only are we in the dead of winter, in case y'all haven't realized, the weather has not been normal all across our nation, even worldwide. Our weather's doing stuff that it's never done before. People who normally get a lot of snow aren't getting snow, and then people who never get snow are getting buku's amount of it. The fog, the excessive rain, the flooding, the earthquakes, the fires, it's madness. Like, the world has gone loony. Technically, it's gone to hell in a handbag, but that's neither here nor there. Was that the remote? It didn't break, did it? No. Okay. So, yeah, that was my night, and that's why there won't be any videos from yesterday of me baking or of us eating beef stew and stuff like that, is because it didn't happen because I had a crisis on my hand. What happened? Ow. Yeah? Yeah? Oh, Lord. Look up. Oh, you got a little bruise. Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby. Mommy's sorry. Here, let me get your little ice pack. Hold it right here, 'cause you got a little bruise, okay? Breakfast is almost done, sweetie pie. You gotta be careful on the couch. Alright, sorry, y'all. I need to move. Okay. My sugar. Well, I guess this video is gonna expose how much sugar I really put in my coffee. Now, don't come for me in the comments. Yes, I know how much sugar I use. I am 36 years old. If I want to use this sugar, I will. As my husband says, I like my sugar with some coffee. I used to hate coffee. I used to hate it. I remember the first time my padre wanted me to try coffee, and I spit it all over his truck. Like, it was so gross. And I'm like, ew, how do people drink this? Tell me why after my car accident, I started liking coffee. The car accident changed me. Even though I got some of my memories back, there's some stuff I didn't. Like, I used to be able to speak 7 different languages fluently. I mean, understand it, speak it, bam. I can't remember all that now. I'll be able, like, I know it sounds familiar, and I'll be able to understand some stuff, but there's some things that I fully can't, or I can't speak it right. I don't know, it changes you. I mean, obviously, it changes, so there's only so much, a body can handle. This is my fresh milk. I have bigger ones, but in the fridge here, it's just easier to keep the little ones. So I'll go out, get the big ones, pour it. Ooh, so I got the ring, the lid. Mom needs coffee. I've already had a whole pot of coffee, but I need more. It's pretty much what I do all during my day is I drink coffee. Now, for the first couple hours that I wake up, bless you, you're welcome. I only drink water just to replenish and hydrate my body. Oh, cheers, loves. Cheers. Oh, I love coffee. I know that cheers was kind of bad, but I don't know which camera I'm supposed to look at, so it is what it is. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, so I drink nothing but water for the first couple hours, and then I like to keep freshly squeezed orange juice, and I'll go ahead and drink a glass of that, and then I'll come out for my coffee. It used to be as soon as I woke up, I'm pressing start on that coffee pot because I need my coffee, but now that I'm getting older, I'm trying really hard to be more conscious. Now, in the summertime, I drink so much water, it's ridiculous. But I do so much. Like, I really do so much. And I need coffee. I do not drink soda. So that's one good thing. I do not drink soda. My children are not allowed to have soda at all. I don't mind them having some sugar and sweets, but I don't want them having junk processed food, and I don't want them having any soda. It rots your teeth. It's highly addictive. It's very bad for you. And I used to love Mountain Dew. I used to drink Mountain Dew like it was going out of season. And I started hearing all these horrible things about people developing serious stomach issues and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, I already have health problems. I'm healthy, but I do have some health problems. So, it's complicated. I don't know. But anyway, my abuela developed, when she moved to America, she wound up developing a really bad gluten allergy. Never had it before she came to America. So it's kind of funny how my family grew their own food. They had a farm, they processed everything. It was healthy food, real food. But when they came to this country, within the first couple years of them coming to America, they developed gluten allergies, and then they became gluten intolerant to where they were put on a gluten-free diet. Sorry, y'all are getting a little behind the scenes. Anyway, and that was not good for them because my family loves their breads. They love um, cookies, cakes. Like, that was extremely, extremely hard for them. And I don't blame them at all. We have never done diets or counted carbs. We don't gain any weight. My abuela lived, she was born in 1912. She lived to be past 100, and she weighed like 80, 90 something pounds. I was always 100, like the heaviest I got was 115. But then when I was pregnant, I weighed 135 when I gave birth. So we don't gain weight. Now we have size, a bust, and a butt, but people from other countries are really healthy. So anyway, one thing is, and I started developing gluten allergies too. Now, I'm going to put this, I shouldn't have to say this, but unfortunately, in today's society and world, I have to. This is not medical advice, so let's just get that there. This is my personal story. So, what works for me doesn't work for everybody. What works for y'all isn't going to work for me or everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed whenever I stopped eating breads and stuff like that from the grocery store, and I make all my own stuff, and I do it homemade from scratch with ingredients and stuff that comes from our gardens, our homestead, our farm, or from the Amish. Um, didn't have any more gluten problems. I can eat bread all day, and I do. Bread, beans, and rice is basically a staple. It's what I grew up with. I love that. My abuela used to make me red beans and rice all the time. I love jambalaya. I love, tortillas, enchiladas, tostones, bacaletos. I love all of that. Chimichangas, like, I need rice, and I have to have rice, beans, and bread almost every single day. And there are times where I will literally, you'll see my plate, I'll have 4 pieces of bread in one sitting. I like my bread. It don't bother me. It does not affect my body. I don't gain from it. I'm healthy, so it's fine. But it's amazing how you're told that you have a gluten allergy and you're gluten intolerant, and you have to go on this horrible gluten-free diet, and their food sucks. I don't care what anybody says. I have tried almost every single gluten-free food from the health stores and this and that, and it sucks. It's like cardboard. It's disgusting. There's no enjoyment in that at all. At all. But when you make homemade from scratch, whether you're doing sourdough or you're doing regular wheat, rye, flour, no matter what type of baked goods and bread you do, you can eat that and you're fine. So I haven't had a gluten allergy in years. That may not work for everybody, so like I said, don't consult with your doctor. Try it in tiny, tiny little increments if you want to, but that's just my personal story and what happened with me. Okay. Oh, is the flash not on? Oh, that was lovely. Okay. Now, normally during shorts, I get all different angles. You'll see me standing up on stuff or crouching down low, or I talk, but because I'm talking to y'all, I'm not going to talk on that. So, this is what I do. Just my homemade cinnamon raisin bagels with some of my cream cheese. And I normally do fruit. But, I'm out of bananas, so this will be good enough. Girls, your breakfast is done. We'll say grace, y'all eat, and then as soon as y'all are done eating, chores, and then we're starting school. Okay? You done with it, honey? Do you want to keep it in case you need it? Sure? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sissy gonna come get hers? No, not today. I don't have the fruit. Yeah, not with breakfast, you loon. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's just a pre-breakfast. Those, like, some of my children get up super early with me, and so they'll eat at, like, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. These two knuckleheads, on the other hand, sleep in a little bit more. Because, let's face it, girls can be cranky if you disturb their beauty sleep, so. Boys are much easier. Boys are morning people. Girls are not. So there's that. So. I had to put my sweet cream. I reuse containers, tubs, like, if it's better than having to constantly spend so much money. I already need an obscene amount of mason jars and all different sizes for my canning, you know, so canning, fermenting, stuff like that. But I also need, like, milk, or when I do my butter, or when I do my cream cheese. So it's like, if I make my glaze, there's so many different things that I need it for. So I reuse it. I reuse the spice. You know, like, I'll buy these huge spices, and when I harvest out of my garden and I dry it up, you know, and do the doings, I just add it to these. Like my chives, I have so many of these containers. So many. Like, I have so many of these and they're empty. So when I harvest, I reuse them and I fill them up. So a lot of these aren't store-bought. They're from my gardens. I just reuse them. I use, you know, I'll tell his grandparents, like, oh, y'all do sauces or this and that. Give me your cans. I will save all kinds of bottles like this. I use these types of bottles to make my homemade vanilla. And then, what else? I can't, it's all the way back there, but like my cocoa powder, what else? Tons of these, oh, y'all can't see because my things. I save tons of these egg things to put my eggs in, so I do have the basket, but some kids and everything else, I don't want them to bust and break, so yeah. It works. It works, it works. So anyway, I know this whole thing has been more of a rant and rave, but I just wanted to let y'all know that that's why there's no videos of beef stew last night. And also to let y'all know why you're going to see beef stew for tonight. So I did not record what we ate last night for supper. I think the last video that I recorded was of when I made them lunch yesterday. And then my story time, because a stink bug from the pit of hell tried to kill me last night. And I squealed like a little girl and started ripping stuff off because it sprayed me, little son of a biscuit. So yeah, that's that's my night. And then I went swimming in my laundry room. Yeah, great times, y'all. Great times. But today is a much better day. Um, I got up. I didn't get that much sleep. I got like maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep. But I got up. I got showered. I got ready. I'm like, you know what? Let's make today a better day. Um, so I'm glad, by God's grace, that the washer is semi-fixed. Like, I still have to manually drain it, but at least I can handle that. I cannot handle what happened last night. My supper for tonight's already done. I just need to make more bread and then do the salad. So I'm going to get everybody else fed. And once everybody's fed, I will bring y'all back so we can do a bake with me day. I do need to do my breads. I do want to make some cinnamon rolls. I want to make some cookies. My youngest wants me to make another batch of my homemade brownies. And then I was thinking about making my apple loaf. I just want to bake all kinds of stuff. So we're going to do a bake with me day. It's happening. Okay? It's happening, Captain. We're doing the darn thing today. Oh, I got to get my homemade blackberry jam. I love these containers. So I'll put my strawberry in this one, and then I'll put my blackberry in this one. Sometimes it's not what it says because I'm putting different things in it, but primarily. Oh my gosh. I have really bad OCD. Really bad. And I have the stupid habit of having to tighten things. And my children and husband hate when I do it. But so do I. I hate that I do it. And I can't stop. I cannot stop, y'all. I wish I could, but I can't. I don't know which camera I'm supposed to look at. I have like 3 different cameras, so I apologize. But anyway, I put on, like, you'll see. I have a bad habit, like with a doorknob. I do it so many times. Like 3 times to the right, 2 times to the left, and then 1 more time to the right. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a nerve thing. Because I do have severe trauma, and like I guess because I'm getting older, I notice a lot of things. Like, I'm constantly apologizing even when I have nothing to do with it or it's not my fault. I annoy people. Like, I really do annoy them and drive them nuts with saying I'm sorry. And then I say I'm sorry. Like, they'll be like, stop saying I'm sorry. And I'll be like, I'm sorry. I'm starting to catch myself, but not always. So I don't know. I think I'm getting better with it. I try. Like, I really do. But when you've been through the things that I've been through in my life, it's hard. Like, car accident wasn't even close to being the worst thing that's happened to me. I've been through a lot, and I have survived a lot. I have survived abuse. Um, that's why I am a huge advocate for a lot of things, because I've been there. I've been through it. I have suffered it. I have endured it. And basically, you know, I just want to help other people. Like, we're not doing this victim thing. We're going to do we're victors. We are victors, and we have our victory in Christ. So, there's that. But, here's the other breakfast. One is with my homemade strawberry jam. If I can figure out where the damn camera is. Ooh, look at that. And then the other one, which is my personal favorite, is my blackberry jam. And I can't wait for this garden season to bring y'all along, especially now that I have my tablet, to where I can take loaner vehicles. blah, 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 where I can take longer videos. I can actually bring y'all in the garden and show y'all. You know, we'll do lives and all kinds of stuff of mapping out our garden and tilling and harvesting and planting and, you know, going out and tending to it and just making all kinds of goodies and canning. Like, I'm super excited. And I can't wait to bring y'all along for, you know, every year we do an annual cookie day. It's something that my padre and abuela always did. I've done it my entire life, and even though my family is deceased, I keep their traditions alive. It's very important to me to pass that down to my children and to give my children that experience so also they can carry it on to the next generation of our family, which will be their children, my grandchildren one day. Which makes me really sad. We're not going to talk about that. Because I'm not going to cry on camera.
I refuse. Oh, my pans.
Ew. I think we might do spaghetti for lunch today. I don't know. I'm in a cook and bacon mood. Especially since I got all my dishes done yesterday and I don't gotta cook supper tonight. I got a whole free day to just bake. So I got my, oh my goodness, not my bread hook, think Stephanie, think. My bread whisk, my regular whisk, and then I just have some mixing bowls and measuring cups. So we're going to get that going, and then I have all my bread pans. I have my loaf pans, my bread pans, and we're also going to make the easiest, like I cannot wait to share these recipes with y'all because I know a lot of people get intimidated by bread making, and I can't understand for the life of me why, because it's so easy. And there's not that many ingredients that go into it. Like, there's some stuff that I make that, yeah, you have over 13 ingredients. It's a lot. But there's so many simple things, and it's so much healthier for y'all, and it tastes so much better. Like, I see people who love all the snacks and junk that you can get at a grocery store, and that stuff, it's highly addicting. Like, the sugars in it, the chemicals in it, the stuff that's in it is to preserve it, for one, so it don't mold, so they can get, y'all know. And so also, it gets people addicted to it. But when you make it from home, it tastes so much better. And I'm thinking, like, there are bakeries and little food trucks all over on the streets of Florida. I used to go to Florida every single year during the winter, and they have the best Spanish and Puerto Rican food ever. There are, little shops and cafes and bakeries and stuff on the streets of the Bahamas, in Cuba, in Puerto Rico, all over, and in Spain, Barcelona. Their goods are so good. I was very blessed to be able to travel and try new things thanks to my padre. He gave me the experiences. But anyway, my point is, y'all like the grocery store stuff, but whenever y'all actually bake your own food, it tastes so much better. It's fresher and it's mouth watering. You're like, oh, it's one of those moments, and it's so much better than the store bought. There are things that my children used to love getting from the grocery store. Yes, baby. That they absolutely love more of me making. Here, sweetie pie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love you.
I love you.
I love you more. Okay, sorry, y'all. I had to fill up cups and sippies, so. Anyway, thank y'all for chatting with me. I appreciate it. And coming along as we made breakfast. I did not even get videos of it. Oh. Well, Oops. My sweet cream butters on both, my blackberry jam, and my strawberry jam. Okay. I know that short's going to suck, but I'll do, I don't know, an outro of it. But anyway, thanks for joining me in my kitchen. I will see y'all back here in a little bit. I try not to make long videos, but I'm a talker and I do ramble, so I apologize ahead, but that's just me. And also, I have children, so it's constantly stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. But I'm going to get everybody fed. We're going to do some chores, and then we're going to start school. So I love y'all. God bless. Have a wonderful day. And remember, today is a good day to have a good day. And I'll see y'all in a little bit. Love y'all. Bye.